Hey everybody, welcome back once again to the Brian Boyer Show. My name is Mickey Ryan. Of course, can't do this without this guy, Brian Boyer. He's the coach and the namesake of the show. Who'd have thought the season would go by so fast? Last show, where did everything go, man?
Well, it's time flies when you're having fun, right? It's been a fun year,
Oh
and
man, has it been fun?
It's been fun, and it has flown by, and on to the next chapter of this season.
This is one of those years though where you have to look back and think, my gosh, the goals we accomplished. Academic championship, conference championship, coach of the year, player of the year, all conference players, just so many superlatives, man. You can't even begin to mention them.
Well, there's a lot of them, and I know I can't wait for a postseason banquet here in about a month, and all the different awards and stats and recognitions and things that we'll be able to do for this team. And I'm like everybody else's team. These players right now, the hurt from Saturday, a lot of ways outweighs all those good. But there's no question when it's all said and done, we're going to look back and a lot of great accomplishments and a lot of great things happen for this team.
Well, I think Arkansas State fans will certainly agree. Certainly the hurt from the last game lingers a little bit, but the memories and all the superlatives, all the great things are going to be what went out in the end. And guess what? There's still basketball to be played. We'll tell you about all that and more coming up here on the Brian Boyer Show.
Hey, good luck on the big date.
Centennial Bank, conveniently open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday and 1 to 4 p.m. Sunday at the mall at Turtle Creek, Arkansas's community bank.
And welcome back. Talking about basically a season in review. I'm going to tell you all about the championship, the Sun Belt Championships this past week. Going to look back, going to look forward to more basketball, but Coach, you got to stop before we even get any further in the show. As you look back on the precedents that were set this year, there were a lot of things that haven't happened in 10 years, 20 years, that kind of thing. Did you think before the season, obviously you want great things for a team, but as you looked up and down the roster, did you think, gosh, these are the ladies that can take us back to places we haven't been in a while?
Well, you always hope, and you feel like, and I think I was very open, even in postseason last year, of the potential of this group if they were developed and to come together, having that front line back, and then the addition of, Drea Gamble, Brittany Gill had been sitting out, and then felt good about our recruiting class. You thought this had a chance to be a really special team. And, we got into the summer and it started to have some concerns because we had a lot of things, injuries, surgeries, things that kind of went, it's one of those that kind of scares you. It's like, wow, is this going to be, but, we got all that out of our system in the summer, and, we had a healthy year and felt like if we could have a healthy year, we could have a really successful year, and we were able to do that.
22-11. 22 is the most wins in 20 years. First championship game in the tournament appearance in over 20 years. You had a young lady, Andrea Gamble, scored over 600 points. That hasn't happened since Shyla Tucker back in mine and Coach Tate's era here at A-State. Again, there were just so many things that happened that haven't happened in a long time. And when you look up and down this roster, you lose three fantastic human beings and basketball players, but the future's still bright as well. I know we'll talk about that coming up on the show, but you got to be excited about the rest of this season, but there's plenty of optimism for going forward too.
Well, no question. It's now obviously we got we'll have a lot of youth and some young players in on our front line, but we'll have all our guards back, which is an exciting thing. And so yeah, I mean it was a really good year, and excited about that, and excited about the future of next year, and like I said, also excited about hopefully extending the season a little bit more this week.
A lot of highlights from the conference tournament. That's all coming up. We've got it here on the Brian Boyer Show. Don't go anywhere.
A lot of universities define themselves by where they have been. At Arkansas State, we want to show you where we're going. Our students are the most academically prepared in our history, and our faculty are conducting groundbreaking research. We're investing in education at home and around the world through the first ever American-style campus in Mexico, and we're working on the first osteopathic medical school in the state. Educating leaders, enhancing intellectual growth, and enriching lives. At Arkansas State, that is how we will be known.
Well, the Red Wolves rolled into New Orleans knowing you had to win 3 games to bring back the championship, but before you won 3, you had to win the first one, and quite an intro to the tournament. A lot of hardware for the Red Wolves.
Yeah, it's an interesting, at the start of this, one of the hardest things to do is actually get that first game out of the way. The Sun Belt, they do a lot of all the awards and academics and all that stuff prior to the game, and you really obviously great to see this Gamble getting her MVP award, and
great to see that.
We'll skip that one. Getting the team academic award, which is a big deal. But, one of the things your team really has to lock in, because you're out there for about 15 minutes of all of that after your warm-ups, and it's really, it'll test your team to see which one really is locked in and ready to start playing. And was proud of our team. We came out early, playing well. We got it inside early. There's Gamble, of course, on the outside too. But early on, we were able to attack it inside. We got us a little bit of a lead early on before Monroe made a push at us to come back in the first half.
I think Jalen has been watching Jane. You got a post out there shooting threes. She learned from the best.
Well, she's that's a little bit of improvement from last year, and there's still obviously improvements can be made, but as quick as she is off the dribble, if she ever gets to where she consistently hits that shot, she's going to be tough to defend. So, but we had a decent enough first half. We did, and while we saw the 3 from Jalen and 1 from Gamble there, we got a little too perimeter in the first half, and it allowed Monroe to get back into this deal. Second half, we did a better job, of really attacking inside and getting some easy buckets, and here you see there Jalen attacking for a layup. And,
see, to me that encapsulates what she can do, where if the other post comes out to guard her at the free throw line, she can dribble right past him. I love that play.
Well, she's really quick off the dribble, and Carla Ushuaia, probably we saw her highlight there before Hannah's here, but probably the player of the game and how physical she was. Jalen got in a little foul trouble. Here's Hannah again attacking inside. Look at Carlisha there. She was really, really good, and we needed all those points, and her, she got them into some foul trouble with how strongly she played inside. So Carlisha had a great effort against Monroe.
Finished with 11 points. Jalen there again. She had a season high 21 points, and the fans, you see them cheering there. They loved it. The big win to start the tournament, 78-69. And then just like that, you got to go play another one. That's the way it goes.
You get, kind of a different setup this year with the tournament, where you did have the day off in between, games, and both teams did. It wasn't an advantage one way or the other, but it allows you one day to prepare. And against a really good Texas State team, we needed to prepare because a very talented group. And one of the few games this year where really our offense didn't carry us. That's kind of been our staple all year. We were just really average offensively. Texas State zoned us a lot and caused us some problems there. But carried us, or the win was carried by our defense. Had a really tremendous defensive effort, holding them to I think 17 it was in the first half, and really just an all-around great defensive effort against Texas State.
They shot 28% in the game against you guys. You held them to 48 points, and you've got the kind of team, if you can consistently hold the other team under 50 points, you start looking at you guys' scores. That's how you win a lot of what you want.
Well, no question. Like I said, we usually depend on our offense, and You know, and this was one of those games where we really couldn't, and we had to depend on our defense, and fortunately it was there. That, you know, something all year's kind of been hit and miss. You know, we've been good defensively, you know, other times we haven't, and but we needed it big time. We really defended it well, and you know, and it just enough to hold on to where, you know, eventually your offense is going to catch on. You see Drea hitting the three, and there's a tough little shot by Jalen knocking it down. This is all second half here, and you know, our defense just kind of was buying us time. There's Carlisha, really good move again. What a great tournament for Carlisha Wyatt.
Had a double-double in this game.
Yeah, just yeah, she and Gamble both actually double-doubles, and you know, again, you love to see as a senior Carlisha having this type of an effort in her final tournament.
I was thinking about this. You know, if you start handing out postseason awards, you had so many players that made such great strides. I don't even know if you could give, say, a most improved, because there were so many young ladies that just stepped up at great times.
I would agree with that. I think that's something that went from game to game. You know, we've talked, you know, often this year. You know, go back, and the first time we played Texas State, it was, you know, Jess Flannery carried us, and then you know, struggle at home against South Alabama, and Jasmine Hunt carries us, and you know, so you know, at home, our last two home games of the year, Khadijah, you know, hit some huge threes to give us momentum, and so you know, it just you know, truly, it's been a team effort all year long.
And that carries you into the championship game the first time since 1992, and guess what? Against the same team, no less.
Well, it's in what battles, again, I think we'd won 5 straight against Western Kentucky over the last 2 years, and of those 5 wins, the highest margin was 5 points. This year beat them twice, both times by 3, one of those in overtime. So, you know, we knew it would be another one of those games that was going to come to a wire, and certainly it did. And where we came out on top the first 2 times, unfortunately we weren't able to come out on top this time around.
I did love the way the team came out. Jane is, for old NBA fans, not old, but just historic NBA fans, she's your Willis Reed. She comes out, she hits a couple of jumpers. The team really goes as Jane goes.
There's no question, and it was great for this team too, because, you know, Jane had actually, you know, the first 2 games of this tournament really, you know, struggled by her standards. You know, hadn't hit a lot of shots, and it was just fun, you know, as a coach, because you knew that it was the 3rd time it was going to come, and she came out on fire to start that game, and you know, it's just like, it's like one of those things, like, well, you knew it was coming. I mean, she didn't go too many games without having you know, great shooting nights. She's such a good shooter, and she really got this team going, and then you know, everybody else followed her lead.
Jane, someone who is going to finish her career possibly as the 6th leading scorer in the history of Arkansas State women's basketball. 7th right now, and can get to 6 fairly easily with another game. Her legacy is just unbelievable, and you talk about one player's legacy trailing off another one beginning. Andrea Gamble, another double-double here in this final tournament game.
Well, she was terrific, and you know, it was one of those games where, you know, you look at the players. You got, you know, Gamble is 20+ points, you know, Player of the Year, and you know, Gooch, who was a candidate for Western Kentucky as Player of the Year, she has over 20 points. And, you know, Jane, you know, 2nd team All-Conference, has a huge game, and Noble for you know, Western Kentucky, who was freshman of the year, has a huge game, and you know, it was just really neat to see you know, the players that are supposed to step up in this type of an atmosphere, you know, stepped up in this type of an atmosphere, and you know, we certainly tried to ride Gamble best we could. She carried us, you know, throughout this game, at huge basket after huge basket, and you know, even late, you know, here, I mean, everybody in the building knows it's going to Gamble's hands, and she's still able to get through into some traffic and finish a tough shot here again. You know, another tough shot, and she's still able to finish, and you know, into all that traffic, she still gets it done.
You've seen a lot of Hannah Cadan, some offensive highlights as people watch this part of the show, but speak of the devil, she got in foul trouble in the second half, and to me that was such a huge factor, because her just long arms and the way she's active and moving around, she made so many big plays where she would wind up with a loose ball, or a rebound would touch 3 people's hands and she would be the one who got it. I just love the way she played.
Yeah, you know, she does so many things beyond just score. Hannah does, and you know, getting her in foul trouble was, you know, it was not good. And you know, the other, Jalen O'Bannon, got 4 fouls, fairly early on too, and that hurt us too, was her ability to score. And so again, that was part of it. Western, same thing. Gooch got into 4 fouls, and she was a little tentative from that point forward. So fouls are a part of the game, and they certainly played a factor in this game. I don't think it dictated the outcome necessarily, but it certainly was a factor for both teams. And you see here, this is late, Western picking up the press. What a great play there. Jalen handling it in the open court and getting it to Drea for the layup. And, again, as Western's really trying to get back into this thing. Another good move here. That's the freshman there, under a tough position there, attacking against that press to get the layup there too.
This was just a pressure cooker environment, and we talk about all the players who are coming back for Arkansas State. To have lived through something like this is only going to make them better down the road.
Yeah, it is, and like I said, it's tough right now, but certainly the players, the efforts, and this is here, of course, the last game or last possession actually. Western had gone up 1. And we're just trying to be patient here, get the best shot available. Again, we get it where we want. And that's in Gamble's hands. Makes a great move here. Jalen, effort-wise, gets her hands on the offensive boards, and just not able to get it to the finish there. But again, you can't fault the players and what they did to try to get that shot and the score to win.
You talked about it after the game. Our MVP player has the ball in her hands with the clock running down and us with a chance to win the game. And it was such a tough night, and there were so many emotions, and you sort of smiled and said, "I'll take that every time." That's what you want.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, again, that's part of when you have a player with her ability is that's where you want it. And I made the comment afterwards. As a coach, you question everything. Should I have taken a timeout? And it certainly could have. And but in the end, even out of a timeout, we're going to do the same thing. You're going to put it in your best player's hands. You're going to let her attack, and she made play after play after play throughout this game, and you credit Western Kentucky there. I mean, they did a pretty good job of getting her a little bit off balance in the shot, but still love the shot, the effort she made to get there, and even Jalen, tried to get the hands on that rebound. Great effort on the boards there.
Well, I'll tell you what, just a fantastic season. It's one that certainly we wish we could tack a couple of seconds onto and get one more shot at the rim, but nothing can diminish what this team and what you have accomplished this year. Nothing at all. And there's still more basketball to be played. We got a lot more of the Brian Boyer Show coming up as well.
Dinner's not my strong suit. We all know what it's like. I picked everybody up, I did all my errands, get to the end of the day and I'm toast. In fact, we've had toast for dinner. Cereal, rice cakes.
Trail mix.
But tonight I nailed it. This is a real dinner. KFC Family Feast. 9 pieces, any recipe, 3 large sides, 6 biscuits, $19.99. Do not give up on dinner. This mama fed her babies and her mate. Ew. Kids are grossed out by that.
Well, there's nothing like a new freshman class coming in. And, Coach, the freshman class this year, I smile when I think about them. They're the most precocious bunch, always have smiles on their faces. The fans love them, and it seems like the older, the upperclassmen, they love them too. It's hard not to like this bunch.
There's no question, and when you look at the success of this team, a lot of it has to do, with team, obviously the performance, but just kind of the feel good, how your team and the locker room and the travel, and they get along and all that stuff, and it's one of the hardest things to put together for a team, and I think specifically a basketball team, and these freshmen have fit in so well with this team, and they make us feel good. They're fun to be around. They work hard to compete every day. It's a pretty great group.
Here you go. Let's get to know them better.
3 freshmen this season have seen playing time for the Lady Red Wolves: Brittany Fowler, Dominique Oliver, and Andrea Pipkins. Now, all 3 have said that this year has been a major learning experience when transitioning from high school into the college game.
Well, there's harder competition in college than it is in high school, because it's like everyone was good in high school, but everyone's great in college.
Basketball is much harder in college because in high school, you're better than everybody. Now everybody's faster, stronger, can jump higher, so you have to figure out different ways to change your game up.
Well, college ball is definitely a lot harder, and the competition's a lot better. Like when you're in high school, you're better than everybody, and you get here and you're like, oh man, everybody's 6 feet taller than me and a lot bigger than me. So it's a big adjustment, but it's been good. I really like it so far.
College, you have to teach yourself. It's not like you can just go home and go take your 2-hour nap. You have to get to your room, study, get all your work done, and prepare for the next day. You can't just go home and everything's already sunk in.
Even though these three haven't seen significant game time, they still make major contributions to the team.
I'm a pretty good scorer, and I can handle the ball pretty well. I like to shoot threes, and I can do jump shots and stuff, but I think the best thing about me is I'm real positive, and I always try to uplift people, and I think that's one of the best things about me.
I think I bring a lot of positive energy. I always try and give high fives and pick people up when they're down and just give everybody that energy that they need.
The team loses 3 seniors this year, but the freshmen still see a bright future.
We can really score, and when we want to, we can play defense. It might not show right now, but you know, I see it. We can play defense. Everybody doesn't think that, but we can. But we can really score and get a lot of steals and things like that.
Well, I do have 3 seniors leaving that play my position, so I know I have to step up and just, you know, deliver to Coach Boyer what he's expecting out of me. To just step up and be the forward that he came and saw in Houston, Texas.
Well, we can score definitely is our overall strength. We can score from the guard position and the post position, and that's really important that you have a lot of scorers on a team and not just 1 or 2.
Basketball may play a major role in the lives of these young women, but they definitely have their futures in mind.
My sister always wanted to go in medical school, and she wanted to do anesthesiologist, and I wanted to be just like my sister. But then I found out, you know, that's an extra 8 years of school, and I was like, you know, no, that's crossing the line. So I found dentistry, and I always liked going to the dentist, and I was like, I'll try that. And I did an internship in high school, and I really liked it, so I thought I'd take that route.
I really want to be a pharmacist is what I want to go into. Because we had a family friend when I was younger, and I've been around a lot of pharmacists my whole life, and every one of them have been very good people and like helped the community and just very influential in my life, and I've really enjoyed the field and chemistry itself. I find it very interesting.
Biological sciences. Yeah. Because I want to become a dentist, but you know, every window, you know, is very small, and everything, you know, I'm just trying to widen the, you know, opportunities, the options that I have, you know.
Oliver and Pipkins are from Texas, while Fowler is from just down the road in Leachville. Having family close by means a lot to Brittany.
It means a lot because I actually get to see my family every now and then. Because if you go far away to a Division I school, you barely ever get to see your family. And they get to come to almost all my games, and I still see them a lot. And it's really important because even on Sundays, I can still have, you know, dinner with them and stuff.
It seems like every player profiled this season had one thing in common about practices that they did not care for. That was the running drills. While shooting drills, on the other hand, seemed to be some of their favorites.
Definitely running. Anything that has to do without the basketball, I probably don't want to do it. And that's basically line drills.
I hate sprints. I hate them so bad. Like, I don't mind long distance running, but sprints kill me.
Reach steps.
What's that?
Defensive steps, defensive position, how we work there.
My favorite part is when we get to do like shooting drills and like 11-man and like up and down drills. I really love that stuff because we all get to like just start playing together, and it's fun.
The end. When we bring it in for the huddle and say, make it happen, that's my favorite part.
One thing these freshmen agree on is that the Red Wolves seem like an extended family, and the fans are very supportive.
The team's great. We all love each other like sisters, and we're all bonding.
I like the coaching staff, and I really loved all the girls on the team. We all clicked right when I first got here.
Oh, it's great. They're very welcoming. Our fans are like family here. They love us. You know, it's great. It's like a family here at Arkansas State.
Reporting for the Brian Boyer Show, I'm Alex Nelson.
You know, one of the key things about this team is the upperclassmen, they accepted them in. Everyone gets treated equally and fairly, and that shows when you hear these young ladies talk about their experience.
Yeah, it does, and you know, and then the other part of that too is you know, day to day on practice and the challenges there, and while this is a great group and they're fun to be around, they're also a group of competitors too. You know, I've said from day one, I haven't faced a better competitor than Fowler, and you know, Dominique and Pip the same way. But these players compete. You know, they challenge our the starters, so to say, and those are, you know, each day. And again, that's what makes a team good.
When we come back, we've got to look ahead at A-State and the WNIT.
A lot of universities define themselves by where they have been. At Arkansas State, we want to show you where we're going. Our students are the most academically prepared in our history, and our faculty are conducting groundbreaking research. We're investing in education at home and around the world through the first ever American-style campus in Mexico, and we're working on the first osteopathic medical school in the state. Educating leaders, enhancing intellectual growth, and enriching lives. At Arkansas State, that is how we will be known.
Well, one of the great things about this season is it's not over. Coach, your team, obviously their performance this year has earned a postseason berth. Been a little while since we've seen that, but it is great for A-State fans to see the Red Wolves back in postseason basketball in a tournament they know very well, the WNIT.
Yeah, it's you know, and the really good thing about it is you know, as you walk out of the locker room you know, Saturday night and you knew you were in. It's not like you had to wait and find out. It was more about, you know, now finding out where you were going to go, if you're home, road, who you're going to play, and so it was nice knowing that you know, this team had earned and guaranteed them a right to be in this tournament.
And the conference championship did that, the regular season championship. We've had some people ask about how did that happen. Well, with the current format of that tournament, if you win your conference, you get to go to the tournament.
Yeah, every conference gets an automatic team, and so we were rewarded that. But you know, when it was all broken down last night, you know, you go through and chart everything, and I'm confident we were in regardless. Sure. There was, you know, a lot of teams in behind us that still got in as at-large in it, and so you know, we had earned it on two different scales there. So, but it's a great opportunity. Again, you know, as I've said to several people, you know, we were disappointed in a lot of ways we're in this tournament because of where we had set our goals and where we thought we could head. And but the bottom line is you got to flip that attitude quickly, because this is a really good tournament. You know, I've been in this before, and I've been in this. This is not the NIT of the past. This is, when you look at the roster of teams that are in this tournament. Used to be the NIT was a tournament that a lot of schools would choose whether they wanted to or not want to. Nobody makes that choice anymore. Everybody wants in this tournament, and when you look at and even who we're up against, you know, UTEP, and if we were able to advance, you got a possible St. Mary's of California. There were 8 at-large NCAA tournament teams that had worse RPIs than St. Mary's. Wow. A couple of them worse than UTEP. So, you know, we basically are being sent now to play NCAA tournament teams, quality teams in UTEP, and then possibly, you know, St. Mary's, and it's going to challenge this team. It'll be an exciting opportunity for us.
Coach, before we wrap up, just got a few seconds left in this final show. Is there one snapshot or memory that 20, 30, 40 years from now, when you think of this team, is there a moment that you'll kind of hold in your mind?
Well, you know, those will be things afterwards. Right now, the one that sticks out is the bad one. You know, that's as a coach, you know, they always talk about how, you know, the losses hurt 10 times, 1,000 times more than the wins, and there's a lot to that. And but you know, there's going to be so many, and I can't, like I said earlier, I can't wait to our postseason banquet, you know, and that's going to be a chance we're going to really look back and celebrate all these accomplishments and all the awards these players have gotten. A lot of great things that have been achieved this year, and like I said, hopefully more to come.
Coach, congrats on a great season, great career. It's been great having you along for the ride as well every week here with the team and on the Brian Boyer Show. For Coach Boyer, I'm Mickey Ryan. We'll see you again next year.